Hey everyone, my name's Lan. Very excited to be sitting with Andyy Hope from Playgrounds. Welcome.
Hey, thank you. Thanks for having me.
First up, congratulations on putting on such an amazing event, the first one, and it was incredibly successful. I just wanted to ask you, what was your inspiration to begin with for the event?
Sure. So, Playgrounds came about. I kind of set some goals out for myself in 2016 to do more blogging and become like a bigger part of the community, and then eventually, hopefully, speak at a conference. And that goal, all that kind of eventuated in September, where I did some blogs, and then I got the opportunity to speak in New York at Try Swift, and then I came back from Try Swift, and I was like, well, what do I do now? So I think the next logical step was organize a conference.
Yeah. And how long did it take for you to literally put all of that together and then obviously execute on it?
So Playgrounds came about from inception, from signing the first contract in October to execution in February. So it would have been just under 5 months.
That's crazy. And you're working full time at the same time, yeah?
Yeah, I'm the lead iOS engineer at a small company called Hunters.
Yeah, nice. So tell me, what were some of the highlights for you for the conference?
The biggest one was just bringing people together, and also bringing in these people who I've made friends with in like Tokyo, in New York, in San Francisco, and just hang out with them and saying, hey, I'm organising a conference, do you want to come speak at it? And, there's pretty much just one big get-together of all people I've met, like at home and abroad, and at the same time bringing people I've never met and get to know them.
Amazing. And had many of them been to Australia before?
None. A lot of them had never been south of the hemisphere.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. And how did they find Australia? Did you take some of the speakers out to a couple of the national parks?
Yeah, so one of the ways to get the speakers from America is like, I'm going to take you on a tour and go see some kangaroos and wallabies.
This is how it's done.
Yeah. You just dangle koala bears and kangaroos in front of them and they'll come. But at the same time, like, getting a speaker, we had some really, really good speakers, but getting them wasn't. A lot of people think that's the hard thing about the organised conference. Getting speakers is easy. It's incredibly easy.
So what's the hard part?
Organising a conference.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard you had a pretty good team helping you with that.
Yeah, you're my volunteer coordinator. Thank you very much.
No worries. Is there anything you want to say to the other amazing volunteers that helped on those 2 days as well?
You all did an amazing job. I couldn't have asked for like a better team. Everything went through incredibly smooth. And this I cannot thank you enough. I'm sure the community cannot thank you enough as well. Everyone did an amazing job.
You guys did. So what was my next question? What was the response for the gender diversity program that you had?
Mm-hmm.
How many applicants did you get overall? What was the general response from people?
The applicants, I wish I'd gotten more.
Okay.
I kind of blame myself for. I feel I could have done better.
Okay.
So pretty much, majority of them received the scholarship. So I'm happy with that. I'm happy that people who applied mostly didn't really miss out.
Yeah.
And I always had to reach out to some people, but organising. I organised Playgrounds purely by myself, and my time was just too stretched to sort of do the amount of outreach I could have done. But yeah, I'm happy with it.
I think you did pretty amazingly, given my conference experience. You pulled it off very well. Sorry, I just had total mental blank. Is there anything else? You would have done differently in hindsight now. So
reach out to more to the
just to more. So in terms of you'd like to see what was the percentage of guys and girls? Do you think that attended? Just out of curiosity.
Maybe I have like of attendees.
Yeah.
Somewhere around in between 5 and 10.
5 and 10.
10 at most.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Do you think it's more to do with obviously there's more males in this particular profession at the moment?
Well, yeah, that's definitely a big factor. But for the ones it's not something that we overlook. We tried encouraging it. Within Australia, it's a sad fact, but I think we are being proactive in trying to bring more diversity, not just gender, but also race and the other groups as well. But yeah, I mean, I think it's something that's in motion. I think a couple of years ago it would have been less than that. So, but I think we can probably make it a lot faster. I'm hoping the industry in Melbourne, Australia, can make it faster than what it is going today. Yeah.
Yep. Cool. And so, in terms of, did you get much feedback after the conference, and were there any kind of general themes or comments that stood out, or?
Everyone, I'm pretty chuffed that everyone. If you gave us like a marking grade of like when we asked people like rate us in stars.
Yes.
I think we handed in about feedback like 90 to 95%.
Yes.
So let's say averaging 4.5 stars.
Fantastic.
For most of the things we did, yeah.
Brilliant. And did you have any particular favourite part of the conference for you? Anything that kind of stood out?
The after parties.
Yeah.
It gave me a chance to sort of just hang out with people during the conference hours. You know, I'm there from like 5 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock or whatever, and then go till 6 or 7. And I see my friends and people I want to hang out with, and I make sure everyone's having a good time. But the after parties or the social evenings is where I can really let my hair down and just chat with people.
Nice. Yeah. Actually, the after party was really fun. The food was good too. In one word, how would you describe the conference now that it's done? Like looking back, if you could use one word to describe, whether it's the atmosphere or...
Relief. Yeah, like I have, before I embarked on this, you know, I caught up with a whole bunch of people who had organised conferences before.
Yes.
So like Sean Woodhouse from Swipe Conference, I can't remember his name, Decryption from Twitter, he did One More Thing, Anthony Aegis is his name. They gave me as much advice as possible, and they said, you know, the biggest thing is it's a lot of work. And I was like, yeah, I'm a workaholic, it's fine. But then you get into the weeds of it, it's like, wow, okay, this is actually a lot of work. But yeah, I'm happy that's over and pretty much without a hitch.
Brilliant. Any messages to the attendees and guest speakers and obviously volunteers and sponsors for the event? Any messages?
Pretty much, thank you. You know, I mean, for the speakers and attendees, it's amazing that Australia has a community as big as it is. I was always worried that the market in Australia wouldn't be able to support it. The idea of Playgrounds is like, let's have a really big international conference in Australia, and the fact that the speakers actually, the attendees came out in really good numbers, it makes me hopeful that you know, Australia is a really big part of the iOS community and Apple community for that matter.
And I think you're playing a big part in that, so that's great. And lastly, more importantly, do you have any of those playground socks left? Any free merchandise? Maybe scarves?
I think I got 1 or 2 pairs of socks left. I got like a box full of swag. If you know, see tote bags.
You should totally just do like a competition or something, or just.
I go to Coca Heads and I'll just give them out at Coca Heads.
Thanks so much, Andyy, and well done again. And it was great to be a part of Playgrounds.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Bye. Okay.